The time has come for the greatest month in all of sports. Of course, we'll have the beginning of baseball and XFL season to look forward to. Yes, I'm calling it XFL. The name was trashed for absolutely no reason. To start with the pivotal end of college basketball, our beloved Cyclones will travel to Hilton South T-Mobile Center for over the duration of our spring break and hopefully get TJ Otzelberger his first Big 12 championship as head coach. Alongside that, I personally look forward to a possible rematch between Jerome Tang and Jonathan Swanson, a.k.a. the Cyclone Jim Carrey. Shortly after that, it'll be death, taxes, and millions of broken March Madness brackets. But even more of what to look forward to for this year's NCAA tournaments. One, nobody teams making a run past the nation's top teams and making a small percentage of bracket bettors rich as ever. Two, another one-game showing for both Purdue and the team out east. And everyone's favorite, number three, the CBS college basketball theme blasting in bars, restaurants, and watch parties for 3 consecutive weekends. Today is Friday, March 1st, 2024. I'm Blake Peterson. Matt Menson is not here, and welcome to the Cornfield Sports Pod. Since Matt Menson is not here, we have our lovely producer, Vinny, on the mic.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
We got Vinny. Vinny gets back on the spotlight again. But
Loving every minute of it. Loving every minute of it so far.
Absolutely. But yeah, March, how we feeling?
I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to March Madness. You know, a lot of teams, like you mentioned, there's going to be a lot of nobody teams that are going to make it past like the top ranked teams, and I'm really looking forward to see where everybody's bracket is because I've always loved it that there's one person who has the perfect bracket that you know they're just like pick and choose. They don't care. They're just like, all right, I'm going to pick like Villanova over like South Carolina, and then it ends up happening.
Mm-hmm. And like last year, we were like everyone in Wells Fargo Arena last year was like all rooting for Colgate to make that run.
Yeah,
like well over Texas because nobody wanted Texas in that tournament.
Dude, it was so much fun because I remember going to the open practice that they had. I lined up so early that I ended up getting behind. I don't know if it was like behind, like I think it was behind the benches. It got behind the benches to watch a full day of team practice.
Exactly.
It was most fun, even though I got to meet like a ton of like nobody players, but at the same time, it was still fun to just see. And then I remember Texas was practicing, and I was like yelling at one of their players, like, "Yeah, man, yeah." He could see I had an Iowa State sweatshirt on, and so he's just like, "Yeah." I remember it was so funny, and I could just tell he's like, "Oh God, not Iowa State."
I would want that to happen if one of our teams that we hate just makes a run in Omaha this year.
Oh my gosh, that'd be hilarious.
No. But we'll get back to our March Madness coverage when the time comes because we're gonna get there and we're gonna go haywire on that coverage.
But we got a lot to talk about before we get there.
Mm-hmm. We'll start off with football because we do got big stuff for football. First of all, for Iowa State football, we did get some coaching hires. We're set to promote Taylor Moser, I think that's how you say his name, to offensive coordinator. He was our tight end coach. So Taylor Moser is our new offensive coach, offensive coordinator, our successor to Nate Shieldhouse. And Tyler Roll, if that's how you say it. These names, man.
I know, they're so weird.
I struggle with names. Tyler Roll is welcomed as assistant coach and head running back coach for football. Now for the big stuff. This recently just came out at the time of recording this, like a couple hours before. I'm like, ooh, this is juicy.
This is crazy.
Prosecutors are dropping charges against 4 ISU athletes. Those include Jairo Brock, Pinero Johnson, Isaiah Lee, and Ioma Wazarike.
It's a name.
It's a name. But yeah, so those 4 athletes were recently charged with like the gambling probe because everyone's by now known of that since May. So for those athletes, charges are dropped, so they're all good to go. So right now, attorneys are challenging why they're even charged in the first place. And I kind of want to go back to one of Kevin Dresser's quotes from May last year. So he quoted, "Part of me thinks there's a little bit of a witch hunt, but at the same time, I also know there's rules." He was right on the money on that.
Oh, he absolutely was. That's the funniest part, is that he called it right then and there.
Because we'll get to that. Because the investigation includes the warrantless use of geofence technology to identify the use of these gambling apps. So I actually heard about this geofence technology a few months back, and when I heard about that, I'm like, there's no way this could even be allowed.
No,
because with the use of this geofence technology, so an athlete can be like in their home. Let's say they live on campus at Freddie Court or like in one of the apartment complexes in Ames, and the DCI in Iowa can like use this technology to track and see if they're on like a gambling app or website, and once they're on there, that notifies the DCI is like, hey, this player, this athlete is using this and this and this. So that's how they were able to get him. And when I heard about that, I was like, there's no way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no way this could be allowed. So the DCI in Iowa exceeded the scope of its permitted use. So this closes the criminal case against these athletes.
Yeah.
So this opens the door for civil cases against the DCI.
Oh, absolutely. I'm pretty sure there will be a few. There might
I don't even
be.
think there will be a few.
I don't. I mean, it's so hard to tell now.
Because remember, this isn't just us. This is the team out east as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's both the state of Iowa, so it's like there could easily be just a lot going on with either of the teams. Like how many do you think could possibly come up for it?
It's hard to tell because I can't think off the top of my head how many were actually caught in this. I remember Oshuni, one of our basketball players, got caught up in this. He missed his court summons, and now there's a warrant for his arrest. Are they just going to drop that now?
Who knows? Who really knows?
So the sad thing is, Chase Rocker, he's a fellow friend of ours. So Chase Rocker said this beautifully. So we have multiple players being kicked off of their teams. They're losing scholarships alongside that, and what was his name? Wazarike was one of them. He's facing like serious jail time. Like he even got suspended from the Denver Broncos, is where he's at now.
Oh, I remember that whole thing coming out and how massive of a news story that was because of this whole facade happening.
Mm-hmm. So all of this was because
they were just bored.
They were just bored, exactly. Like the DCI was bored. It's like, how can we get these? Oh, let's just abuse our power and just ruin these athletes' futures and careers.
They're kicked off their teams. They're losing money from their scholarships. You could face some jail time. People are getting kicked off pro teams and losing money there. It's like there's so much here that can prove that everything going on is grounds for a big legal case.
No, exactly. And with that, I hope all of these athletes, both our guys and the team out east, they sued the Division of Criminal Investigation to the ground. Don't even let them get up. Just keep beating them to the ground.
If they try to get up, just kick them harder.
No, like they deserve all of this fire that is about to come to them.
I am ready to watch any program that'll have it on. Put it on freaking Judge Judy at this point. Or Judge Steve Harvey.
Judge Steve Harvey. No. But yeah, that's our football. That's our football.
And wow,
the very undeserving abuse of our football program and the team out east.
Mm-hmm.
Just Just I hope that's what comes of it.
Oh yeah.
And I hope every one of them gets the DCI. But aside from that, men's basketball, they had a couple wins against West Virginia and Oklahoma, staying undefeated in Hilton Coliseum, Kings of the Coliseum. So West Virginia, I got a little scared, honestly. They came at us. West Virginia came at us pretty scary.
They were ready to play and ready to take our undefeated streak away at the Coliseum.
Nope. But we didn't let that happen. But aside from that, we trailed at home for the first time in 6 games.
Dang.
Like that was part of that. That's part of why I got a little. Ooh, what are we doing?
I mean, anybody would feel that way. That's the thing.
Yeah. But yeah. Cyclones were able to bounce back with the heavy defense. They got on a 14-0 run with a few minutes left.
That's how strong our boys are.
They are. With Oklahoma was a very notable one for one of our players. We'll get to that. But aside from that, obviously our suffocating defense. We did have kind of a dicey first half. One of 18 shooting stretch. And that eventually became a 25-20 lead at halftime.
Look, I'm going to say this too. It's like looking at the score, it was 58-45 us. When you think about it, that's kind of a low scoring game. I mean, like for men's basketball, like you'll notice like there are like a lot of like higher numbers, like 85-78, but like a 58-45. I mean, it's good on both teams. They held them like small numbers. So.
Well, the more notable one was our guys just holding Oklahoma to 45.
Right.
Especially after our first loss, like to conference play against them in Norman.
Oh yeah.
This was another. It was another missed opportunity to get the opposing coach teed up because
Iowa State. Come on, man, you had a chance.
Nah, there was a lot of things that like him getting onto the court like after a jump ball. Or something. There's a lot of him bickering at the refs. So
everybody's trying to pull the Kim Mulkey.
Everyone's trying to pull the Kim Mulkey.
You know,
if Kim Mulkey can get away with it, then
anybody can.
But some eventually find out they can't. Kelvin Sampson against Oklahoma State. That was a funny clip.
Oh, it's beautiful. Just watching any basketball coach just get teed up is one of the funniest things ever, because then you see like the look on like their face, and then you have to see like all the other coaches holding them back for going more crazy. I think it's one of the funniest things. Even just watching Fran McCaffrey from the team out east do it, it's always so funny, especially the one stare down that he had with the ref.
Not the stare down.
that one was beautiful.
I'm surprised that was another situation, but yeah, that's college basketball. I agree with you. It's funny.
But do we want to get into the real star of the entire game?
Now, the start of the Oklahoma game, Demarion Watson.
Career high 15 points and the leading scorer of the night.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep. After he was benched for the rest of the night, he got a very well-deserved standing O.
He did.
I
love to see it. You always love to see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Demarion Watson, he's one of those guys that doesn't really score much, but he's very good on defense. So glad to see him get some offense on there and like have this be a really big highlight game for him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, with these 2 wins, we stay undefeated in Hilton, as like I said. We'll have one more chance to stay undefeated in Hilton with BYU next week, but before that, we'll go to UCF. Central Florida. With that game, we are a 3.5-point favorite.
Wow.
So a little bit of a scary road game, but I don't doubt our guys.
I think at this point, we'll take a win on the road, but I think what we really care about is just winning at home.
I'll take like all the wins at home, like as long as I get to experience it. Honestly,
if we win at home, that's great. If we lose on the road, it's fine. You know, I think our biggest thing is just win at home because we want that.
Mostly because that mindset of like just losing on the road this time of year. I mean, it's the Big 12 on the road.
Yeah.
It's like you're at a massive disadvantage, like on the road.
Right.
Like we've all seen it, except for Kansas, because Kansas and BYU. What was that? What was that?
What was that?
BYU beating Kansas in the fog.
Ugh.
No. So with that, Iowa State now retains the greatest atmosphere in the Big 12 for basketball. So aside from that, we got more women's basketball. Before we get into the games, we got some Big 12 honors for Audie Crooks.
Man, she sweeping the Big 12 honors.
She swept the Big 12 honors, Big 12 Player and Rookie of the Week last week.
Nice. That's good for her.
So why can't we just do like Nyla Gonzalez and just crown her rookie of the season, Rookie of the Year? Just do it now.
Just do it. I mean, she's made her mark. Do it.
They're gonna like before the Big 12 tournament, I presume. Like they're probably gonna call whoever it is, but it is without a doubt Audie Crooks.
You got to do it at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You got to just do it.
They had a win against BYU. Very dominant win. Like had a well over 20 to 30 point differential. We held them to like 40 points at the time. But yeah, dominant win that we definitely needed to stay in the win column.
Yeah.
At that point, people were like doubting our appearance in like the NCAA tournament. But with this next win, we're pretty much a lock.
Oh, yeah.
We're definitely a lock in this one. They had a win at Kansas State. They were ranked 15. Awesome road win. Just awesome road win.
Awesome. Anytime, any win on the road, beautiful. But this road win,
especially against Kansas State, because they've been losing to us like all year. It's like in most of our sports. I think the only exception is volleyball, if I'm not mistaken. I can't really remember, but like in all like the smaller sports, like they've just been falling short behind us.
Yeah.
And I was scared about Farmageddon for football this year.
Oh my God! Do not bring up Farmageddon anymore. We've heard it enough with Matt. It's just
he would go on about like save Farmageddon, but I won't get into that for this one, unless I'm just kidding.
There's no unless we don't get into it.
But Snowmageddon kind of helped us out with that, and then for basketball at home, except we do have one more Kansas State matchup for men's basketball, so we'll see how that goes. With this, I would say it's pretty much a lock in the NCAA tournament, at least of what I've heard, because like personally, I'm in band, and one of my band directors facilitates the women's basketball pep band, so he gets all that info. Aside from that, video was shown of Bill Fenley in the Kansas State locker room showing the remaining 4-game stretch of our regular season, and you could see on that calendar there's like a W for BYU, Kansas State now, and then the last one. But
hey,
they
motivation.
They used that as motivation, exactly.
You took it and it just went off.
Exactly. For the next one against Cincinnati, with that motivation that they got from that, I'm not having doubts on this one. I think we'll get this one.
Knock on wood. You never know.
No.
But look, so next week starts the Big 12 tournament.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that. I'll be down there on that Friday going to that Comic-Con, but I already know that city is going to be packed all weekend. Like it is going to be it's going to be massive.
It's going to be Hilton South. It's going to be full of Cyclones. All right?
Yeah. Do they have the bracket out yet for that? Actually, now that I think about it.
I don't think just yet.
I think we'll find out probably sometime like the beginning of next week, probably.
I think we'll definitely get kind of in the middle seat on that, because like our showings like mid-season weren't the greatest.
Yep.
But hopefully we can make a run.
Let's make it a memorable one.
Mm-hmm. I mean, especially from last year. Let's make a memorable one with like the freshmen.
Because I forgot, did we won it last year, right?
We won it last year.
We won it last year. Yeah, I forgot. And then, how far did we make it in the March Madness for women's? Were we even part of that?
First one out. Round of 64.
That makes a lot of sense.
I know, disappointing showing, but we got another shot this year.
It's a whole new team, mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just we'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah. Wrestling.
Let's get into this.
Last week, our predictions aged well.
Yeah.
No, they aged very poorly. This was a massive yet embarrassing win against Missouri.
That's just that's the best way to put it. It was awesome. At the same time, it was horrible.
It was, well, we were robbed of David Carr versus Keegan O'Toole. And the reason behind that, there was a lot of sick wrestlers from Missouri. That gutted their chances against us. So come the Big 12 tournament and the NCAAs, like, this is going to be a much different Missouri team.
Oh yeah,
than what we got on Sunday. Younger Bastida got Big 12 honor, Big 12 Wrestler of the Week with his top 5 win against Zach Elam.
Nice.
Coming into this Sunday's match with Younger Bastida and Zach Elam. So Kevin Dresser came up to him, asked Younger, hey, how you feeling? You ready for this? You ready for this? Younger looks Kevin dead in the eye. I'm gonna kill him. He doesn't even smile. He doesn't even smile. And Kevin Dresser said this in the post-meet social, that kind of scared him.
It would scare anybody. I mean, the guy looks at you straight dead in the eye, no expression, just says, "I'm gonna kill him." I would
I'm like, Younger, you good?
I would literally. I would my heart would drop. I would. It's almost. It feels like professional wrestling, kind of, and those promos that they do. It's I'm gonna kill him, and they have to say it with the most straight face ever, and then the wrestler just looks so nervous. It's something straight out of a wrestling promo. I love it.
Oh man, but full scoreboard. Iowa State 41. Missouri had one decision win.
Yeah,
but
one.
Our only win by forfeit today was at 125. Ethan Perryman.
Hey, forfeit.
I mean, forfeit. We'll take it. Just disappointing on Missouri's part, but we'll take it.
I just find it hilarious when they call it. They say it's a forfeit. It's you're not even gonna try.
Well, they don't have anyone. They're all sick.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
So with David Carr, with David Carr's last matchup at Hilton, that was the big seller for this. For this duel, and when a 165 was announced, the whole Hilton crowd was booing because they knew they were robbed of Keegan O'Toole versus Carr.
Yeah.
So Jeremy Jackowitz, if that's how you say it, Jackowitz, I apologize for meeting David Carr, but you had it coming. But David Carr won that bout in a pin for his last home match in Hilton Coliseum. And our only loss in this one was at 184. Will Feldkamp gets a loss over Colton Hawks from Mizzou.
Hey,
and then
one loss is not going to kill us.
No, exactly.
We won the other.
No, exactly.
10.
Younger Bastida took us home with his ranked win. The last move where he just went airborne on freaking Zach Elam.
I loved it.
Nah, you see the videos on social media nowadays, and nowadays he's got Cyclone Fanatic merch. It's Air Bastida, I think.
Oh my gosh, that's
Air
awesome.
Cuba, Air Bastida.
Air Cuba, I love it.
But
sounds like a plane.
Yeah. So after this, with the help of the Hilton crowd, Missouri was named the Missouri Ducks.
Quack.
Rubber duckies were seen across Hilton, and a couple of our spectators had duck calls, to which they were removed because you can't have artificial noisemakers.
I was gonna say, like, where would you even? I mean, they're probably not that hard to find, but like, why would you bring one in?
Nah, just all those duck calls. I just wish I was there for that because I was in the control room.
Kind of reminds me of the Mighty Ducks movies where they have the duck call in like the second and third movie, and they recruit all the ducks. I think it's the best.
It is. But after Missouri Ducks lost, shout out to the Madison Mallards baseball club for being a more menacing team and mascot than the Missouri Ducks.
Oh, absolutely.
Speaking of baseball and softball teams, our softball team, not the best showing this past week.
Nope.
Wrongs Classic, just not a good showing. They did have one win against Lehigh, and then 4 more losses against Delaware. Virginia.
We started out
we started out all right,
and then the tank.
Yeah, the tank. We're just kind of losing our touch for these non-con tournaments. But next we got Colorado Classic, and that'll be against Colorado State and Northern Colorado this weekend.
I'm excited for these matchups. I think they're going to be pretty good.
Yeah, they did start playing today, so we'll update you. Next time. Vinny, it's a little windy outside.
I'm feeling a little bit of the winds. You want to get into some high-speed winds?
I got you.
Let's do it.
I got you. Gymnastics, they're on a struggle too. Like seriously. They got third place in the Utah State quad meet, so second to last. And then had another loss against Southern Utah. I mean, I will take this year as a building year any day. I mean, Ashley Miles-Greig, still one of the greatest things to happen to this program. But I'll honestly take these losses and just accept this as a building year. But after these ones, they got next quad meet tomorrow versus NC State, Northern Illinois, and Temple. And then next week we'll be back in Hilton against the team out east. That'll be senior day, our last showing for gymnastics this year.
What a meet to do senior day on versus the team out east.
Oh yeah. I hope the Hilton crowd is loud and rowdy.
Oh, they will be.
Mm-hmm.
I have no doubt in my mind that they will be.
I also want to note track because we did get Big 12 shot put champion Cam Jones for the indoor tournament. We also did have some NCAA entries. 400 meter for women's, 800 meter for men's, 5,000 meter for men's, long jump for women's, shot put for men's, weight throw for men's, and distance medley. So the notable ones are Rachel Joseph, Darius Capego, if that's how you say it. Look at my names. Finley McQuare, said Meckel. I love my names.
I always love reading these kind of names, and then like I'm pretty sure like somebody like who like listens to the podcast is like, it's actually pronounced this, and then we're like,
yeah. To those people, I sincerely apologize. Sydney Willits, Cam Jones, and Cam Jones again for both shot put and weight throw. So we'll see if we have a good showing for NCAAs.
Keep an eye on Cam Jones. That's gonna be
Cam Jones is showing dominance.
Oh, absolutely. No question.
Now we got pro sports. Vinny.
Let's jump into it. So start out with the Minnesota Timberwolves in the NBA. In the past week, they have losses to the Milwaukee Bucks. We'll get into them a little bit later too. Anthony Edwards and Karl-Anthony Towns combined for 50 points, which is pretty good. Giannis making 33 points for the Bucks. He's looking like a pretty good player for them. And Anthony Edwards and Karl-Anthony Towns combined for 50 points. They pretty much made up almost half the points for the Timberwolves team in that game.
That's keep them on offense.
Absolutely. Then they stuck to Minnesota and played the Nets. They won that game 101-86. Once again, Karl-Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards they are making it rain in this game. A combined 57 points. That is over half of their points in just those guys alone.
Like I said, just keep them on offense.
And unfortunately, though, Timberwolves in field goals, they were 43%, 36 for 48. But they made up for it, though, in free throws at 17 and 23. Not bad. The Nets, though, were 10 and 11 on free throws, and that's a good percentage. Only problem is they don't get that many chances, only getting 11 free throws. But Nets can hit they just cannot hit their three-pointers. They were 6 for 35.
Dude.
That is 17% in free throws. How? How?
Well, that definitely made up with the field goals too.
Oh yeah.
And the free throws. Like you've seen how many games are just one off of free throws alone.
Yeah. Definitely. So going to they play stuck in this whole stretch was just all in Minnesota, which is crazy. So they go play the Spurs 114-105. They won that. Anthony Edwards 34 points. Karl Anthony Towns did actually not play this game, citing personal reasons, which I can respect. Yeah, even without him playing, they still had a beautiful game. So, but Naz Reid, basically just replaced Karl Anthony Towns, coming in clutch with 22 points. Not bad.
Not bad showing.
And then finishing off, Timberwolves had the Grizzlies. They won that game 110-101. Jaren Jackson Jr. for the Grizzlies stuck up 33 points. Not bad. Anthony Edwards with 34 points. And Naz Reid is still proving his worth with 19 points. That is not bad at all. Upcoming for them, tonight they'll play the Sacramento Kings in Minnesota. Sunday they'll face the Los Angeles Clippers in Minnesota. Monday they'll play the Trailblazers in Minnesota. And finally, on Thursday, they are traveling to Indiana to play the Indiana Pacers. So,
personally, watch out for Tyrese Haliburton.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Watch out for him. All right, moving on to Milwaukee. Milwaukee Bucks. In the past week, they've had a win against the Timberwolves, 112-107. We touched on that pretty much already. Just know that they're good. They won by only 5 points, but even still, they got to win. Mm-hmm. They played the 76ers. They won that one in Philadelphia, 119-98. Giannis, Damian Lillard, and Malik Beasley, they combined 3 of them for 74 points. I mean, wow. But only problem was field goals are 54%, 3 points are 48%, but free throws 83%. I think those are pretty good numbers.
Yeah, whatever you got to do. I mean, field goals, you're not going to make them all.
No.
I see a ton of them, every time I play, every time I watch.
Just keep your free throws coming in good, and your 3 points. Just keep working at it, I guess. All right, moving on to the Hornets. They got a win there, 123-85. That's keeping the Hornets to just 85 points. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a terrible showing for the Hornets.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
If any game are if any of these games are below 100 for a team, then the offense just didn't show up.
Yeah, did not.
I'm not even gonna assume it's because of defense. Offense just decided not to show up.
Yep. But Giannis, Damian Lillard, and Bobby Portis Jr., they come in clutch with 68 points, 1 point away from nice.
Oh, my gosh.
40% on 3 points. That was just 16 for 40 on 3 points. They've got to do some work. But, hey, you take the win. That's all that matters. And then they actually traveled to face the Hornets in their hometown. They won that one 119-99. So the Milwaukee Bucks had a big win streak.
Nah, they're keeping this one going.
Oh yeah,
they stay dominant this week. It's definitely going to keep up.
Yeah, but for the Amigos, they hit their marks again.
No.
The Giannis, Lillard, and Beasley.
No.
Just keeping it going. That's all that matters.
Yep. They're going to keep this hot streak going against the Bulls tonight. Matt.
Yeah. Thank God Matt's not here. Otherwise, it would have been a little rough. Upcoming, though, tonight, like Blake said, they'll face the Chicago Bulls in Chicago. So that'll be fun. Monday, they'll travel to Los Angeles to face the Clippers. Wednesday, they head to Golden State to play. Actually, no, wait, scratch that. Monday, they're actually back in Milwaukee to face the Clippers. They'll be playing against the Los Angeles Clippers in Milwaukee. Wednesday, they'll travel to Golden State to play the Warriors. And now we come to
Matt's beloved Bulls.
Matt's beloved Bulls.
I got this one.
You got this? All right, go for it.
Matt's Bulls had a win at the Pelicans, 114-106. Later that week, they had an overtime win versus the Cavaliers, 132-123. And then their notable loss versus the Pistons. How do you lose to the Pistons?
When you're from Chicago, it's not that hard to lose to a really bad team.
No, it's really not. The Pistons now have 9 wins this season. The Bulls now make up for one of those wins. How does that feel, Matt? Oh, yep. Remember, they had a 29-game losing streak.
Yeah.
Matt's Bulls lost to the Pistons.
You remember that? Wasn't there that one thing that went on for a while? Was it from like Buffalo Wild Wings or Wingstop where
it was Wingstop?
It was Wingstop. Okay, because I remember it was it like if they won, they get free wings?
Yes. And then there are a bunch of memes coming out. It's like there are starving children because the Pistons aren't winning.
I remember those. Oh my God. That was one of the funniest times on the internet when the Pistons just couldn't win and everybody was making jokes about free wings from Wingstop if the Pistons actually could win a game.
No, I'm not even going to note the Bulls' other wins. Like this was one of the worst weeks I've seen of the Bulls. Bulls. How do you lose?
Yeah.
What happened? But they'll come back to Chicago for another game against the Bucks. We went over that. Monday they'll be at the Kings, Wednesday at the Jazz, and Thursday at the Warriors.
All right.
Now for Vinny's area of expertise.
Let's get into the NHL. We'll start with the Minnesota Wild. In the previous week, they had a win against the Oilers 4-2. Matt Boldy with 2 goals, Jonas Brodin and Matt Zuccarello net the other 2 goals. Gustafsson with a .953 save percentage. That's against the Oilers. That's pretty good. The Oilers are a tough team. So keeping it to just .953 percentage, not bad. Then they headed off to Seattle, faced the Kraken. They won that game 5-2. Kirill Kaprizov, Matt Boldy, Marcus Johansson, and Dakota Mermis net goals. Matt Zuccarello on 4 of those goals got an assist. That's pretty good numbers for him. Marc-Andre Fleury won this one with a .938 percentage. That's actually pretty good. The Kraken, they pulled Joey Decord and replaced him with Philip Grubauer. When Decord left the game, he was only 9 for 13. So they pulled him really early in the game. It was either that or the Kraken just couldn't get any shots on net.
So how early did he lead?
It had to have been like early in the game.
Yeah.
If he only gave if he was 9 for 13. But moving away from that, Minnesota headed back to Minnesota to the Twin Cities to face off against the Carolina Hurricanes. Unfortunately, that was an L. Brodin and Duar net goals for the Wild. Andrei Svechkov, Stefan Nosen, and Jordan Stahl net goals for Carolina. Gustafsson almost hit the .9 save percentage. Unfortunately, he was a little short of that, but still fought pretty hard, keeping it to just 3 goals against the Hurricanes. Unfortunately, though,
this next one, no,
it wasn't. He didn't get that close. They went to Nashville to play the Predators, Unfortunately, that was a loss 6-1. Connor Dewar with the only goal for the Wild. Gustafson was .8 save percentage. It's been dropping a little bit. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't know. Maybe I don't know if are they trying to keep? Do you think they're trying not to play Fleury as much because he's old, or because they want to save him when it comes time for the playoffs? Because
if they're trying to save him, I'd understand that.
I mean, yeah, but I also think, like, do you think that he's kind of running a little low, right, on his time left in the NHL? I feel like his contract is almost up.
How old is he?
I think he's like maybe like mid to late 30s. But Roman Josi, McDonough, Ryan O'Reilly, Smith, Trainin, and Forsberg all had goals for Nashville. That's pretty good. And Soros, the goalie for the Predators, 33 for 34 in saves. With the way the Wild have been playing lately, those are pretty good numbers. Upcoming Saturday, they will be playing in St. Louis against the Blues. On Sunday, they'll held back to Minnesota to go play the Sharks. And on Thursday, a little road trip to the Southwest to play the Arizona Coyotes. And now we move in
to the depression.
We'll move to, the Wild are like the happy McDonald's with the play places, and the Blackhawks are the current McDonald's with the depression and not fun.
The depression.
The previous week, the Blackhawks did not win a single game.
No.
They lost the Jets 3-2. The only thing was that the Hawks tied it with 40 seconds left. Still not good. At one point in the third period, Joey Richardson had a wide open net and completely missed the net. That right there just sums up our season as a whole. It's a wide open chance, and you shoot it wide.
Sell the team. He's looking.
But on a positive note for the Jets, they improved to 35-15-5. That's not bad.
That's not bad.
And then, I don't want to talk about this one, but I have to.
Vinny, as much as I'm laughing right now, I actually pity you.
I'm pretty sure the whole world does at this point. I'm pretty sure the whole world does.
I hope for another Blackhawks win another day.
I hope so too. The Blackhawks played against the Red Wings, which was another loss, 3-2. But this is the Patrick Kane homecoming. And the video that they showed was actually pretty good.
Very good.
It was really nice. Took the Wings to OT. Who else should score the freaking game winner but him? As much as I love Kane, I hate him. And you don't want to know what else is worse about that? Is the fact that on the goal, who else got the assist but a former Blackhawk and Alex DeBrincat?
Who?
Yeah, who else but Alex DeBrincat would help Patrick Kane net the game-winning goal. But DeBrincat and Kane, both with one goal. They're both former Blackhawks. And they're both doing better than the entire team.
Combined?
Yeah. And moving on to last night, they played against the Avalanche at home. And
that score, though.
Yeah. They lost 5-0. Yeah, another shutout loss. Zach Parise for Colorado, 2 goals and 1 assist. At one point in the game, Bedard leaned his head on his stick on the bench. What do you think's going through his head right now?
So explain that to me.
So at one point, Bedard's on the bench, and he's like, you could just tell he is just
he's done.
He is very much like, why did I even stick to hockey? I could have just stuck with basketball. But no, he had to stick with hockey. Get drafted to probably the worst team in the last 10 years. And that's saying something because for a while, the Sharks, and the Coyotes could not get a win. But I'm pretty sure now the Blackhawks are even worse than the Coyotes were.
Remember Matt's standings from last week? Like, we're not even just going to give him a standing. They're just awful.
I wrote that. I wrote that in.
I forgot.
I wrote that in because I didn't even want to even work around where they are. Because everybody knows at this point. You don't have to be a hockey fan to know where they are.
No, just awful. And I'm not. And I still know.
Yeah, either way. Upcoming, which we probably know are all going to be losses, but even still, we have to talk about it. Saturday, tomorrow, they'll play in Chicago against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Monday, they'll head to Colorado to face the Avalanche. And Tuesday, they will head to Arizona in a game that I'm pretty sure will determine who is the worst team in the NHL in the last 20 years.
How cheap are Blackhawks tickets?
Yep, that's what I thought you'd be looking up. I remember, it reminds me of the year that they didn't even start out at all with a win, and people were selling tickets for like $5.
Oh no.
Yeah. You find out how much they are?
I saw as well as $30 on SeatGeek, like the first thing I saw. So like nothing immediate.
The only reason why they're high is because people want to see Bedard play.
I can understand that.
But like the year when like Taves wasn't playing, when Patrick Kane was doing nothing, when Seabrook was gone, like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But because Bedard is leading the league in everything, like in terms of rookies, people want to see that. But yeah, even still, it's not even worth going to watch or even like getting a subscription for Chicago sports because. But even still, let's move to the St. Louis Blues though. In the previous week, they were in the same boat with the Blackhawks. They did not get a single win at all last week. So, against the Red Wings in Detroit, they lost 6-1. Bulldog with the lone goal for the Bulls.
Blues. Gotcha.
Shut it. DeBrincat and Kane for the Red Wings combined 3 goals. They are like the new dynamic duo. Like you have it with Draisaitl and McDavid, but evidence pointing right here that DeBrincat and Kane might be in the new kind of duo that people need to watch for. Yeah. Traveling to Winnipeg to face the Jets, they lost that one 4-2. Buchnevich and Saad with the only goals for the Blues. Lately, by the looks of it, in 3 goals in the past 2 games. I mean, it's good, but wouldn't you expect a little bit more? When you're you've gave up 10 goals in the past 2 games. Like, where's your defense?
They need to sort that out.
They really do. Like, really. And then traveling to Edmonton, they face the Oilers. That was a OT loss 3-2. 3 last week. They look a lot like the Blackhawks. Yeah. Yeah. Hyman and McDavid, they got the goals for Edmonton on that one. There really wasn't much to talk about with the Blues because nobody really cares about them. So their upcoming schedule. Tomorrow, they will be playing against Minnesota in St. Louis. And then they have a little bit of a road trip on them. Monday, they'll head to Philadelphia to play the Philadelphia Flyers. Tuesday, they head to New York to play one of the good, actually, New York teams, the New York Islanders. And Thursday, they head to the other side of the bridge to play against New Jersey.
You know, not really good showing when you're comparing this team to the Blackhawks. I mean, Blues, you need to sort things out. But
yeah,
overall, not the best showing for Midwest hockey. Not a whole lot for MLB because Matt's honestly got that on points. But I did want to note the beloved and universally loved and never biased Cubs. Cody Bellinger finally finalized a 3-year deal with the Cubs, and he's got one goal in mind: get this team to the playoffs. That's going to do it for this week's Cornfield Sports Pod. You can follow the Cornfield Sports Pod on Twitter at CSportsPod. You can find me at BlakeAttack1846. Where can they find you, Vinny?
They can find me at VinaciousD23. So think of the band Tenacious D and just replace 10 with Vin and then just 23.
Yes, sir. Hit that follow button on Spotify, that plus button on Apple, Subscribe on YouTube and Rumble. This is Blake Peterson.
And I'm Vinny Cataldo.
And Matt Menson is gone. You can find him at the Menson Minute. And this has been the Cornfield Sports Pod.